Hey guys, just back with that error. So it wasn't anything in the code. So what happened was the IDE or the basically writer got confused when I changed those names after I'd already initially clicked the controls. It created an event handler. I deleted them and then changed the name, so there was some kind of mix-up. So that can happen. Bit of a drawback with the designer. But the way I found that is, we'll talk about this later on, but I expanded form1.cs, so there's two other files in there. So I clicked the form1.designer.cs. So this file we'll talk about later. Basically, this is what you use if you don't use a drag and drop. So if you don't use a drag and drop, there's things like the point, for example, where the control is. Remember I said it's a coordinate, an x coordinate and a y coordinate. So it's pretty simple. This code looks pretty simple. We'll get into it. There's a few things that might be confusing, for example this stuff. Protected override, void, dispose. We'll talk about that stuff later on. Once we can get through that, this region thing as well, we'll talk about all that. This code here is pretty simple. It just instantiates these new objects, which is a text box object, a user, an input label object. Notice how they have the same names as what we said in the designer for the properties, right? It has the exact same names as our properties that we set them to for the identifier names. Then we just basically call these different layouts. We'll talk about all that. Looks pretty simple from here. As you can see, so we instantiate these objects in initialize component. Then here we, for example, change the font of the text box, the location, the name, the size, and the tab index. Then we go for the user input label. So we'll go with border style, font, location, name, size, text. Pretty simple, easy stuff. So up here we basically get these text boxes. So we're basically pointing this points to the global text box, so we'll talk about that later on. And then yeah, so pretty much we just do the same for this. So how I fixed the error is there was I commented it out. So we have, where's the comments? So there's one. Here's one right here. So this .textbox.text change points to, or is equal to this .textbox change plus new system event handler this .textbox1 underscore text change. So I commented that out because from the error message it was telling us that it couldn't find textbox1 underscore text change. So I commented that out and commented this one out. Label 3.click, same thing. Label 3 underscore click, and it worked. So pretty much that's it. So then I ran the code. I'll try to include that as well. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll try to include the GUI because it's able to get everything. So I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. If you guys would like to subscribe and like the channel, you can. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.